Bonneville Salt Flats, an unusual place. It's a huge dried lake where the first land speed record was set in 1914. Up here, everything is different. The reflection of light on the white surface, the temperature, the humidity, the pressure, and the long straight distance that allows full speed to be maintained much longer than anywhere else on Earth.
Yesterday, we found out in our morning meeting, which is a great first day. We thank each and every one of you for your cooperation.
For 1 week, a city of tents, trucks, trailers, transportable toilets and motorbikes spreads over 3 or 4 rows facing the white, salty plain. At night, everybody sleeps at Wendover, the nearest town, leaving behind the silent city.
Well, I road race professionally for Triumph and actually the latest Motors Racing Castrol Triumph team in the AMA Daytona Sport Bike class. So I've been their top rider in that series for a couple of years now. And
you sure have.
Oh, thank you. And then they said, hey, we'd love it if you came and, would you have interest in driving a Streamliner? I said, absolutely. So I was out here last year and drove one of the big, actually that bike right there. And I fell in love with the salt flats. So.
Most of the bikes that run at the Salts are unique machines, often imagined and built by their own riders. The motorcycles are thoroughly inspected for safety before they make their first run.
I decided I'd build a diesel motorcycle. So it took me, I guess, 6 years. I got an engine out of China and I hooked it up to a Harley transmission. Then I found an old motorcycle frame, and originally I was riding it on the street. And it started to look faster and faster. And then we came out here last year and did really pretty good with it. And we're hoping to run around 125. We don't know if it'll do it. My wife is riding the sidecar today for her 65th birthday.
An egalitarian atmosphere pervades. People from different walks of life are interconnected in this place by their passion of bikes and speed.
That's why I keep coming back.
I have Perillas, and I used to be an engineer, and I have a workshop, and I needed to make parts for my own bikes.
Riders arrive at Bonneville from all corners of the world, traveling across the globe from Japan, New Zealand, Australia and Europe. It is a long and expensive journey from the moment they pack their bikes and tools until they have their first run. Their commitment is absolutely remarkable.
You can buy certain things, but in the end, it has to be one person's vision that all comes together. And I think no matter what that vision is, it's all beautiful to me. And everybody's got their own taste, but it's somebody's passion, it's somebody's thing.
306. The bikes are works in progress. Tried 1 year, worked on until the next race, and constantly being changed in order to run faster the next time.
got some of the best people on the planet, speed-wise, and the best people on the planet in general out here racing.
Ever since I was a child, I remember reading the stories about Burt Munro, and I always wanted to race Bonneville. Well, it took me 3 years to find the motorcycle because there weren't that many of them. And to race in this class, it has to be made 1955 or earlier. This is the big moment here, my very first time.
Well, it's a Yamaha RD400. So they built these, and then Yamaha made millions of them, I'm sure. They made them in 350s, and they made them for probably 15 years or something. So in the past, it has had the RD engine in it, which is air-cooled, and I couldn't keep it cool. So I would get almost all the way through, and it would seize, and it'd melt a piston. So for this year, I built this new assembly, which is liquid, and it seems to work really well. So
RR. His best time ever on the salt is 201.9 miles per hour. We'll see what he does here.
Yeah, a lot of creativity, a lot of hard work, a lot of preparation, a lot of frustration. There's always elation when you do well, but it's hard to do well out here because it's very competitive.
This event, though being very much about pure speed, is quite different from other motorsports. The moment of speed is actually but a small part of what happens at the salts.
They think of something and then they turn it into this, that, that, that. It's amazing.
Each motorcycle running at the salts has a particular way of solving essentially the same problems through widely different solutions. This burst of mechanical creativity is freely shared by all the riders in free-flowing informal discussions. This is what makes being part of this event such an intellectually stimulating experience.
I have no more excuses. I have to go and do it.
There can be some anxiety at the departure line, but once you reach top speed and you have to hold it, you cling to your bike. As Mark said, I have a routine. Heels, knees, elbows, I try to become one with the bike, and before I know it, time is over. It goes really fast.
I have never been involved in automotive anything at all until last year, and so we came out here last September and I drove it, and my top speed was 111, and that set the record for my class. It was great. Well, you know, I hear kids talk about something being awesome, and I didn't know what awesome meant. Well, this was awesome.
Women's presence on the flats is surprisingly strong, a definite change in character of this traditionally man's sport. They ride, design and build all kinds of bikes, from old classics to extremely fast streamliners.
I emailed him, I think, 3 days ago, and he's like, well, we're going to the Bonneville Salt Flats to set a record. And I was like, well, I guess I better, get out there and find out about it. I think the thing that interested me about it was the idea that this could be the first electric vehicle to hold a land speed record. All of this innovation in electric vehicles is going on, in the garages of, people like Bill and Ava, and it's not necessarily sponsored by a big car company or something like that. And I was really impressed by, what they've been able to do, kind of on their own, just with their own passion.
To build a streamliner, and of course it's going to be electric. This week our goal is 225. That's a magic number for us because the current overall sidecar motorcycle record is 224.201. And if we beat that, we beat all the internal combustion, all the other sidecar motorcycles. And the last time an electric vehicle held an overall record for a vehicle type was 1899 when the world's fastest car was battery powered. It's just a very, very expensive hobby. So this motorcycle now is actually worth more than our house.
3.179.
The longest course runs up to 11 miles, where high-powered streamliners can reach speeds of 370 miles per hour. They say that if you don't like the weather here, just wait for 10 minutes. As the engines feel these changes in the weather, the riders have to do constant adjustments to improve the performance of their bikes.
You know, the weather changes so much too, and the air density and can change so much that your tune from the day before, or even during the middle of the day, the tune you ran in the morning is completely off. And all of a sudden you're not making, you can feel it, you're not making any power. You got to go back to the pits, check your plugs and change your jetting and maybe your timings. This place can dash your hopes.
The atmosphere is relaxed. In each camp, you can freely watch the ongoing work on the motorcycles, and you can feel the presence of children and the smell of coffee or lunch being prepared.
And we raised the whole the Grand Prix car in the South that was cheap experience. You can buy the car quite cheap now. The skeleton is rusted away by now, I think.
The riders themselves, men and women, mostly above 50, are a surprising mixed group of people.
Anyway, they got it to go quickly by putting weight on it.
Since 1965, and I've always said, we're going to Bonneville one of these years and we're going to run. He calls me up beginning of June, he says, Bonneville, but neither one of us have a bike, Joe, that's cool. He says, well, we got 2 months to build them in. We built his frame, we built my frame, completely from scratch, both motorcycles. We made it out here 2 days late. None of them are here.
Have at it. There, Mark.
Strangers to the event, we wondered how close we would be able to get to the action. The only sign of organization is the deep blue lines on the ground that everybody respects without need for enforcement. There is a smooth flowing of people and engines and a curious and welcoming reaction to our presence.
Not having done this before, initially I was anxious. And until I got about halfway to the green flags, it suddenly stopped anxiety and became fun. And then at the peak of it, it was flat bliss. I really enjoyed it. I realized I probably was going to slide around and die. And then I felt comfortable just, well, I don't have to be cautious even if it is my first run. So I opened it up and did what I could. And this time I'll be a little more aggressive. I'll try to find my bliss early.
Oh, once you start, you're very much in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
You're just focused on what you're doing, and it's almost surreal. It's just...
It is.
It's an out-of-body experience.
So I can see how this could become a habit. coming back to this place.
Salt fever strikes again.
Salt fever, yeah.
Been coming for a while?
Never. This is my first ride.
There's some anxiety or something, but as soon as the flag drops, you don't notice any of that.
One of the things that is important to remember when you're out there is pay attention, don't get too excited, and when you're turning off that course.
I had such a blast last year. After that, it was like, I'm coming back, whether you bring a motorcycle or not.
Yeah, I used to race motorcycles, and I even raced drag boats. And as I got older, I didn't race anything, and I fell into this by accident. Been here ever since. Been coming here for 10 years, racing for 5. Yeah, I got hooked. They call it salt fever.
Out here at the salts, once you come, you can get the fever. They call it the salt fever, and you keep coming back. You keep coming to beat your own speed record.